Look at the birds in the air. They don't plant, harvest, or store food in barns, but your heavenly Father feeds them, and you know you're worth much more than birds. That was the first verse I ever memorized. And the reason why I memorized that verse was because I was going to the gym in the morning, and when I came back from the gym, because I'll go like at around 5:30 in the morning, so it was very dark outside. But when I came back to go home, there was like this road, and it was like a field, and there was like so many birds eating off the field, like off the insects in the field or whatever they eat in the morning. And I remember hearing that verse from a pastor from a video. I don't know how I ended up hearing the verse, but then I ended up hearing it. So every time I would go back home from the gym in the morning, I would think about whatever that pastor said, and I was like, you know what? Let me just Google it. So when I typed in Google, I was like, bird verse in the Bible. I didn't know what it was. And sure enough, Matthew 6, verse 26. That verse, one, the reason why I memorized that verse is because it reminded me every morning of the birds that I watch. But two, there was a deeper meaning behind that verse. As an overthinker, I worry so much. Lately, not as much, but like probably like all of last year and maybe the year before, my mind continues to run and run and run. I wish I could run in real life as fast as my mind running. I'd probably be like very lean and cut. I don't I don't know why. I don't know why I think so much. I don't know why my mind runs so much. It's just, I guess it's just normal. People think all the time as well. I'm not the only person that worries. But man, I was I was so caught up. I was so entrapped in the situation I was trying to control. Like for example, like my future. I always think about it. I'm like, man, I want to do this for my family. I have a painted picture of how I want my life to look like in a couple years. And not only I was thinking about that, but I would think about my job. During that last year, there's some things that happened in my job where like my job was on the line, and I would think about that. Obviously, I would think about um, like future girlfriends. Like if I see some girl on Instagram and it's a recommended follow, and I'm like, oh, I just it's subconsciously or purpose, I don't know, but like if she's cute, I would like imagine my life with her, and like if we would work, and it's just like my mind would go and go and go, and then I would start to feel anxious, and I would start to feel out of control, and my mind would want to be in control. Like, you need to do this, you need to do this so you can get this and get this. And I just find myself day in and day out just like feeling anxious. And then this painted picture that I have for my life didn't come to reality. So then I would be sad, I would be depressed. Not for a long period of time. It never got to the point where like I was depressed for more than like a week or two. But there would be some days where I would just sit in my bed and just be like, why? Like, why? Why am I feeling this way? And then obviously I prayed about it. The first thing I do when I wake up and the last thing I do in a day is I pray. I've been doing that for a couple of years. But during this time, like during these prayers, I started realizing that my prayers are more like a wish list. Like God, can you do this for me? God, I know you love me. Like, why am I feeling this way? God, are you there? God, like, why can't I have a girlfriend? God, why is my podcast not, blowing up? And then I realized that my prayers were centered around how I wanted things to go down. My prayers were like suggestions for God, like, hey, like you should help me out with my podcast. You should help me get a girlfriend right now. And I was like, whoa, what are you doing, man? What are you what are you doing? You're not in control at all. God's got it all figured out. And I'm still struggling with it today, but I've came a long way from those days. I have. Those days I was forcing my thoughts and my prayers around the things that I wanted, the things that my mind was thinking about all day. And then obviously God was like, listen. I'm like, okay, God, what are we talking about? He's like, you know that verse that you memorized? I was like, oh yeah, of course. Matthew 6, verse 26. Look at the birds in the air. They don't plant, harvest, or store food in barns, but your heavenly Father feeds them, and you know you're worth much more than birds. Basically saying, if he's got the birds under control, they don't plant, harvest, or store food in barns. They're not worried about their next meal. If he's got them figured out, he's like, yo, like, you see, they're still alive. They're still eating. They're not worried. And you know you're worth much more than birds. He's like basically saying like, I love you way more than those birds. Yes, like I created them. They're my creation. I love them, but you're worth much more to me. So if you're worth much more than me, why do you think I won't help you out? Why do you think I don't have a plan for you? Why do you think I'm leaving you hanging? I'm for you, not against you. Everything that you're going through right now, everything that you're trying to control, I've got it all figured out. Why worry? You're worth much more than birds. I got you. But all I need you to do is trust me. You tell me every day and every night that you love me and that I'm your father. So allow me to be your father and allow me to direct this path for you. Let go of everything. Give it to me. I'll take care of it. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what a father's supposed to do. So after we had that conversation, I was like, I heard you, God. I heard you. Chill. You a little loud. You a little loud. And then after, I mean, I'm still, like I said, I'm still working on it now. But how I view life now is really like day by day. Because when I started in the past, when I started to think too far ahead, or when I start to think about things that happened in the past, I started to get those anxious thoughts, like I was in control again, and I had to like let go from that. I could talk about this all day, every day. I'm pretty sure you guys got the message. Versus someone out there that made it this far, there's a reason why you made it this far. And maybe this is your reason. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Everything is happening for you, not against you. Whatever situation that's bringing you down, whatever situation that you don't have your hands in, you're grasping, it's going to be all fine. It's going to all work out. You just have to trust. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I love all of you. And thank you so much if you made it this far. I really appreciate you. Peace.